In a Fox 24 special report, a Northwest Arkansas man is in remission after beating cancer several times, but the many surgeries that got him there left him with a defect that made one leg 4 inches shorter. Today, he's at the Mayo Clinic having a surgery to fix that. Our Chelsea Helms shares Trent Brock's story and how he went from New Zealand to Northwest Arkansas to an operating table in Minnesota. We do want to warn you that the story may have some photos that you'll find disturbing.
Today, Trent Brock is undergoing the first part of a 2-day surgery. Doctors at the Mayo Clinic are installing a hip implant created just for him. Surgeries that'll get Brock one step closer to walking on even ground.
So kind of walk me through.
Yeah, sure.
4 inches.
You can see that the bone has gone all the way up to there.
That's about how much shorter Trent Brock's left leg is than his right.
This will be a regular shoe. I would wear this.
It's a defect left from a surgery he had to remove his hip bone cancer. Doctors wanted to remove his leg. Instead,
they took out all of my gluteus maximus and my medius, and all I have is that little bit of butt muscle on my left side.
He was living in New Zealand at the time, where he owns a kettle corn company.
Lightly salted, slightly sweet, incredibly delicious.
His experience with cancer and the complications that came with it have been anything but sweet.
You can imagine, I'm totally overwhelmed. I'm all alone. They're telling me I'm gonna die.
That initial surgery left him with a massive infection.
Over several months, I had about 6 more surgeries to try to clear it up and clean it up. Just couldn't get rid of the infection.
On top of that, Trent found out his cancer had spread to his lungs. His New Zealander doctors also thought it was in his pancreas, only to find out it was actually a blood clot.
So they removed half my pancreas and spleen, compromised my health for my entire life remaining here on Earth. And basically what they did is they tried to spin it on me and say, congratulations, you don't have cancer.
When it did spread to his pancreas, he said doctors there refused to treat him.
We won't do surgery because you can die on the operating table. And we won't do radiation because we can burn a hole through you. And I'm like, so what are my options? And he's like, well, you can go home. And I'm like, point blank, and wait to die.
Death wasn't an option for Trent.
I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna win.
After spending more than 9 months in a New Zealand hospital over 2 years, he landed in Northwest Arkansas.
Northwest Arkansas is a little pocket of healthcare, and from what I've read, they do a pretty dang good job here.
His only options at that time were really just IV chemotherapies that have about a 5 or 10% response rate. So I'll be honest, I think he'd probably be dead by now.
Dr. Eric Schaefer is with Highlands Oncology. With medications in the U.S. that are not available in New Zealand, Dr. Schaefer knew Trent had a chance to beat his cancer.
So when they found the cancer on the scan, it was this big. By the time I had the radiation, this big.
And so after he had his radiation, we put him on some of these new immune therapies, and it's helped augment and help him so far be cured from his cancer.
This is a big one right here. This is July 21st. This is officially the day that I finished radiation and, dude, whipped that cancer, man. 2
years in remission, he's still living with the side effects from his first cancer surgeries.
He has about a 1 or 2 inch difference in the length of his hips right now.
His left leg continues to inch higher up into his pelvis.
Because I have been on crutches 4.5 years now, and I'm tired of that.
Doctors at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota have been working on a solution.
This is the prototype of the implant that they're gonna do. So you can see we're putting in the largest, most customized titanium hip implant ever done to date. This is where screws are gonna be coming in the front of my pelvis, okay? And that's gonna give me most of my length back.
A first of its kind surgery.
If I'm the guinea pig, no big deal. You know what? Because I know some of the pain, it's not gonna be perfect. We're gonna learn some things through this, but for the next guy, it's gonna be better.
To get Trent a step closer to putting both feet on the ground. The surgeries he's having today and tomorrow are part of 3 different operations. His first was done in February when he had a temporary plastic hip implanted. His final one will be a leg lengthening procedure sometime in the future, so his legs will officially be the same length. We reached out to the doctor performing the surgeries at the Mayo Clinic. He declined our request to participate in this story. In studio, Chelsea Helms, Fox 24 News.